welcome to this brand new episode of Newsmakers, the show where we bring to you success stories of trailblazer personalities from various walks of life. Because at Newsmakers, we aspire to inspire you. My dear amazing audience, I'm your host Simran, and I'm really honored to bring to you youngest entrepreneur with us on the sets today. He's just 15 years of age and he's already made mark in the business industry. Please allow me to welcome Aryan Aswani on Newsmakers today. Hi Aryan, so happy to have you. Just such a youngest entrepreneur we have with us today.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. So Aryan, you're just 15 and you're in class 9, but you got a journey all through. You're here as an entrepreneur. It's something amazing. We would like to know, how have you reached to this level?
When I was young, since the age of 8, I used to go to my father's real estate office.
Okay.
But at first, it was just running around there and here and disturbing everyone. But then I started asking the question, why? I wondered how everything worked, why everything was the way it is. And I started asking questions. I started understanding the processes and just, pointing out the mistakes, to be honest.
Oh wow.
So one time I went to visit a site which was near my father's own site, and this was more on the high end. So I realized all the architectural improvements that they had done, how great the parking was, and all the furniture that they had put. And then I went to my father's office and I gave him a list of all the things that he could implement. And then from there, we moved on to him taking me seriously, and I got involved in all of the real estate work that we did, more on the creative side, as I would give my creative inputs and I would sit in meetings.
Okay.
And from there, I started to hear the term public notices more often. So I got into public notices because I understood public notices is the first step to giving the buyers a legal clarity. As you see, the normal person puts so much of his money into just buying a house.
Correct.
So they should get the legal clarity that they'll get their house on time and without any trouble. But sometimes this does not happen, as the land that the builder is buying may have some litigation that they might not be aware of. So what this does is this gets the builder's money stuck as well. And most importantly, it gets the homeowner's money stuck.
Correct.
So this motivated me to find a solution, because of which I came up with Project Arya.
Oh wow, wonderful. So my dear audience, just listen to his story. He was in his father's office, and like a notorious kid, he was all around. But then, of course, he too wanted to do something, and he got to know about this public notice. Now we would like to ask you, what is Project Arya all about?
So Project Arya is all about public notices.
Okay.
Public notices are given into the newspaper by the government, any company, or even any personnel to make the public aware of something that they might want to take interest in. So it's all about transitioning these public notices into e-notices,
Okay.
which would be published on a nationwide government portal. Here, people will be easily able to publish, review, and raise disputes to public notices out of any possible sector in India.
Okay.
Because if you see, all different types of sectors are required to post some kind of public notice.
Right. So this is all that Project Arya is all about. But then I'm wanting to know that, is there any story which led you to start this? Were public notice is something which you said that people get, they really get affected in case there are a lot of litigations. This is the hard-earned money they are putting. Now, is there any story that you would like to share which made you to start Project Arya?
Yeah, certainly. So I knew a man who had a lot of properties,
Okay.
but after they sadly passed away, their son shifted to the US, where he started working, while the daughter got married in India.
Okay.
But after the daughter got divorced, she forced her mother to put all of the properties of her father into her name by just putting out a public notice in a newspaper which didn't have a lot of circulation.
Okay.
So through this, all of her properties were now on her name.
Okay.
And the son suddenly got paralysis, because of which he could no longer work.
Okay.
So sadly, he had to return to India. But when he came to India, he realized he had nothing in his hand at all.
Right.
because all of his father's properties were now in the daughter's name, and the daughter was not even willing to give him food, to give him food and normal resources.
Okay.
So stories like this made me realize that someone needs to work and someone needs to find a solution to the lack of accessibility and visibility that public notices have. As if the son would have been able to access those public notices in the US itself, this would have never happened at all.
Correct, correct. So, I really appreciate the kind of heart that you have. And my dear audience, it is just one of the stories that we are getting to hear. There could be many, many such stories who are getting affected. But now I'm so happy that our little, I would just say that he's little because he's just 15 and he's find out a way out for a lot of people who are suffering right now with these kind of problems. Now, I would like to also know, what are you looking to solve here? What all problems? There may be lots. So would you just elaborate on them, is there?
So I've come to realize upon a few. The most important is that public notices are geographically limited, as any newspaper has a limited circulation. Secondly, public notices go through a language barrier, as the law states that any public notice should be posted in the language of its locality.
Correct.
So imagine you live in Delhi, but you own land in Tamil Nadu, and someone puts a public notice out of your land over there. How will you, first of all, how will you get access to that?
True.
And second of all, how will you even understand the language?
Correct.
Thirdly, let's say the time span of a public notice is of 15 days, but it is only published once. And fourthly, guess how many number of registered publications there are in India? There are around 146,000 publications with about 25 to 50 public notices being posted in each of them.
Okay.
So, for the lawyers who mostly review them and post them,
It's not easy.
yeah, it's not easy. I wouldn't even want to be that lawyer because of how much newspapers I would have to collect.
Correct.
So, these were the major problems that I came up with, which I wanted to solve through Project Arya.
Oh, that's really wonderful, and I wish you all the luck here.
Thank
because you are absolutely focusing on something which I think a lot of people have just not noticed maybe. Now here I also know that you were the youngest entrepreneur to be showcasing your business plan in a global business summit. How was it for you?
I think it was one of the best experiences that I've ever had, as they gave me, such a young person, a chance to speak in front of such experienced and such successful people.
Yes, and audience, I would like to tell you that our Honorable Prime Minister was also present, and was he the part of the plan that you were showing that time? Was he there?
Yes, he certainly was.
Oh, wow.
And I had the opportunity to see him from up close, and I was just amazed. That's all I can say.
I'm sure. Just 15, and he had the chance to be present in the global business summit, and he could show his plan. This is something he's really achieved at just 15. I am so very impressed. I would like to know more of, like, you see, we are in the world, in the technology is at its peak. Everyone is using AI. Now, please tell us, how does Project Arya work on it? Like, what kind of a technology that you're using?
So we have come up with a language translation system through the use of AI, which would completely try to take out the language barrier in public notices. So whenever someone accesses a public notice on the portal, they would be able to translate it to all of the local languages in India, through which that would eliminate the language barrier.
Okay, wow.
And secondly, we also aim to collaborate with Digital India.
All right.
As Digital India says, we want to provide a digital infrastructure as a utility for every Indian, which is what we are aiming at Project Arya as well.
Okay, wow, you've got wonderful plans. And I would also like to know that if you have some urge for the audience and for the government also, that will be later. But before that, I would like to know that how do you see, like, how do you see Project Arya generating revenue, like in the future? How do you manage to generate revenue?
So we haven't yet opened our portal. This is because for Project Arya to unleash its full potential, we would require a government collaboration.
Correct.
As you see, every public notice owner needs legal authentication If there is no disputes raised, then their public notice should be deemed viable. So, but our projected revenue is aimed to be something that I can't even calculate myself. As let's say, I told you that there are 146,000 published newspapers, but let's just take half of that, which is 73,000, times the minimum value of 50 public notices being posted in each of those newspapers.
Okay.
Times the minimum cost of 5,000 being there to publish each public notice. We would come up with a revenue model which would benefit the GDP of India.
Oh wow. Okay. That's really great. So this is how you're looking up to be working, that the revenue is going to be also working for the GDP of India. This is what
Yes.
you're aiming at.
We're looking to work for the people instead of just earn money for ourselves.
Okay.
As the problem that I talked about is important and it needs to be addressed immediately.
Absolutely. I would definitely want you to be talking to the audience and our government as well, straight away, right here from this podium, for your message to reach them, because it's one of the best thing that you're doing for the society and for the world. Now, a very important question: who is the driving force behind you? Who is that one person who pushes you to be here at this age?
I would say my father and my bua. They have inspired me a lot and they have led me to learn how to work hard, to learn how to put time towards things. And if you do that, then you'll certainly be successful.
Super. So that's your dad and of course your aunt, who's been instilling a lot of things in you, and of course I'm sure your mom must be playing a great role in this.
Yes.
Okay.
They all pushed me really hard to be able to achieve this, but that's what I appreciated about them, because or else I would have never come to this point where I'm sitting over here.
Wonderful, wonderful. And audience, this is the kind of acknowledgement that we would require from our generation right now. They should acknowledge the fact that it is all because of their parents that they're here. And this is what we get to hear from such a, what I say is a handsome looking boy of just 15, and I'm so happy to have you here. Now, moving further, Aryan, I would like to know that what are your future plans? Now, Project Arya is about to start, like it's already in the, it's working. Now, what are you projecting yourself in the coming years? Where are you going to take Project Arya?
I would like to use Project Arya for data analysis in different government sectors, such as income tax and customs, which is what we're planning to do in the future after the portal has been launched.
Okay.
And secondly, me personally, I would like to become a successful entrepreneur and a businessman in the real estate industry. So I'm able to make investments in other industries as well.
Okay, so you plan to, of course, shift to other industry as well. And may I know what other industry you're looking at besides being in real estate?
Obviously, I love entrepreneurship, so I would like to invest in startups in the future.
Wonderful.
Secondly, I would like to get into the sports investment industry,
Super.
because I play football myself.
Wow.
And I've been playing since I was 6 years old. And to be honest, anything liquidable that I can invest in would be good for me.
Wonderful. So audience, here is a great news. We have another investor in the making. So all of you who are, of course, maybe you're getting inspired to be like him, you know that the future investor is right here and he has more probabilities to be in the sports industry and whatnot. I really wish you luck from all my heart, and I wish to interview once you're in the other industries as well.
Thank you.
Yeah. So Aryan, more of it I would like to know that why do you think that Project Arya is really working for the betterment of Indian citizens? How is it helping?
So, Project Arya takes the entire traditional system of public notices and digitalizes it into one portal which offers user friendliness and transparency. And I see it as a one-stop hub for anything that is public notices.
Okay.
As we are aiming to make it cost effective through taking out the entire physical costs of a newspaper. We're aiming to make it environment friendly through zero paper consumption.
Okay.
And fourth of all, we're aiming to propose global accessibility, as we have come up with a personal filterized system where people can easily pin geographical locations, the different types of assets that they own, and keywords through which they would receive instant notifications, and through which they would be able to access the dashboard and their personal list of public notices from anywhere in the world,
Oh, wow.
from which they can raise a dispute and publish and publish a public notice without even being in India.
All right, so you mean anybody who is around the world would like to invest here in India will be able to do that?
Yes, and even if you live outside of India but you own land in India, you would be able to easily review the public notices against your land or against any type of asset and raise disputes to it without even being there.
Oh, that's an amazing thing. So, I would really like to know, because I want to get into the deeper of the significance of public notice. Like, how is it, like, what is the utility of that?
So, public notices are the first step that bring legal clarity for me. As if someone doesn't have legal clarity, then it will be sure that they'll face future problems relating the legal laws in the future. So this would lead to them being unclear, and it would also give them a lot of troubles which they are not aware of in the future. So because of this, if they know suppose you own a land and you know all of the different types of owners, all of the litigations that are on that land, and all of the previous owners, every single detail about it, then you will be clear with your transaction and you will be able to work comfortably without any legal trouble in the future.
So this is such a wonderful thing, Aryan, that you just told us, that how important it is for all of us to get to the point of public notice, because a lot of us, we somehow don't know that there are a lot of problems in some kind of a property that we are going to buy, and I am really thankful to you for finding out such a solution for all of us. Now we are moving towards the end. I would like to sit with you and talk to you at length, but we are also short of time, and then I would like to have this very, very important question for you that I have, which is, I know Project Arya has to join hands with the government, right?
Yes.
Yes. So this is, I would like you to give that urge, or probably if you have something for the audience and for the government, what is that one thing that you would like to tell them that, for the future of Project Arya?
I would like to request the Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji and Shri Arjun Ram Meghwal ji to make Project Arya, which is my hard work, my passion and my thinking, a reality.
Wow. And here it is my request to my Honorable Prime Minister from the podium of Newsmaker to definitely give him that hand. He is the young generation and he has great plans, and I'm sure if you have listened to his plans, I'm sure you are going to do wonders for him. You've already doing wonderful for our country. So Aryan, last but not the least, I would just like to know, how do you manage to be so good? Do you also indulge yourself in some other activities?
Yes, I play multiple sports and I am a full-time student as well.
Okay.
So it's hard sometimes, but if you manage your time efficiently and you set your tasks right, then anyone can do it easily.
Yes, absolutely. How balanced you are when you say that. And I'm really impressed with the person who's coming up just 15 years of age. I've been insisting on this, that 15 is too young an age. But having such a balanced mind is an achievement. I wish you all the luck, Aryan. I had such a great time interviewing you. And more of it, it was so quick and so crisp, right?
Thank you.
How did you feel?
First of all, I appreciate you for giving me this platform, and I felt great to share my vision and Project Arya with all of you.
Wonderful. Thank you so very much, and I'm really happy and I'm honored to have you with us on Newsmakers.
Thank you for having
My
me.
dear audience, I've been repeating all the time that I'm so happy to be sitting next to just 15 years of age, an entrepreneur. I am really inspired, and I'm sure you must be. And if you are, then please write to us. Here we have our email. Do let us know how did you find this interview. And if you think you too have a story to share, please do let us know. Here's Simran signing off with the promise I'll be back soon. Stay blessed.